Overwatch Diagnosis. This is a series where I give myself 5 minutes to look at a person's gameplay and diagnose the issues they have at the end. These videos are kept short and simple so they're easy to understand. Okay, so we have a gold Cassidy on Ilios. Before the game even starts, before we even meet the enemy team, one thing I want to look at is pathing. So there's only two paths you can really take on Ilios with Cassidy. That's through main and that's to the right. I think the better path is to the right. Why is the better path to the right? Because it allows you to take an off angle. Why is an off angle good? An off angle is good because it means the enemy team has to choose between, are we looking at the enemy team that are grouped here, or are we looking at the Cassidy at the side? And if you as a Cassidy do two things, take this off angle and use cover, so peek in and out, it makes it very difficult for the enemy team to poke you out and to force you away without sending one or two people to deal with you. So if they send two people to deal with you, then it's a 3v4 here in main and a 2v1 here, and if you see that coming, you can use your roll to get away. So I would recommend you take the right side and take the angle there. Let's see what we do. Okay, so we decide to walk up the stairs here. This is actually the worst possible position you can have as Cassidy when it comes to the start of the game. Why is this the worst position? This is the worst position because you can't really see anything here. There's nothing you can see. Everyone's here, standing here, main on the right, far back on the left. You cannot see any of that by standing here as Cassidy. If you drop off, this means you can get javelined off the map by the Orisa. You can also get booped off the map by the Junkrat. You can also get booped off the map by the Lucio. So I don't like this position. I think we should have gone to the right side instead. So we could have had better pathing on Cassidy. And so what happens here is we default to shoot the Orisa. Why is shooting the Orisa a bad thing? Why is it bad target priority? Because Orisa has two abilities to avoid damage. She has her Fortify, where she goes gold, and she has her Spin. Shooting Orisa doesn't do much for us because she still has those two abilities to survive. So it's better to wait until those abilities come out and then commit to shooting Orisa. Instead, we should be looking to shoot squishy targets on Cassidy. Right? So, for example, this Junkrat on the left or the Lucio, these are squishy targets. So if we would have walked onto the right side, we would have been able to see the soldier who was stood here at the start. We would have been able to take the angle, shoot the soldier who's a squishy target, and put pressure on him. We would also be able to put pressure on the Orisa from behind her if she does use her cooldowns. And this would mean the Sigma can walk in and we can take space for free. So, two problems, pathing and target priority. Let's go to the next fight. Let's keep going. Okay, so let's look at... So, our Junkrat has just died. What does this mean? We should not even peek the enemy team. Usually, you should not peek the enemy team if your team is resetting, if your team are regrouping, because it puts you at risk of dying. I would say maybe you can peek from this bridge, but I wouldn't go this far ahead. So what you should be doing now is just going back and regrouping with your team, staying safe. Instead, we walk through main. We almost get booped off the map. So, what can we improve? Again, it's regrouping properly with our team. So what I can see here is it seems like you're just holding your shoot button instead of lining up your shots. I think you're on console. So another improvement to make is with our mechanics, go to the practice range or go to a custom game, practice lining up your shots on targets. Mechanics, aim in particular, is very important on Cassidy. No matter how good your positioning or ability usage is, it doesn't matter if you cannot land your shots. Again, we're shooting the Orisa instead of looking for squishy targets.
Come on round, see these rap niggas biting my sound. Shout out my bitch for holding and get down. I had to switch up my lifestyle. If she bad, I'ma go and fuck her lights out. Mama always told me I was a bright child. Naked bitches saved on my iCloud. My goodness, my God, my gracious. Got a bad little bitch, my favorite. And I eat the pussy like it's caviar. Nigga, I ain't talking about that playlist. Most necessary, cold February, flow never buried, shit is everlasting. Opportunity is never passing. Was just in school.
Turn the timer off, and I'm going to go to the next point and see are there the same problems on this next point. So let's have a look. Nice, really good pathing. Really good pathing. We have high ground, so we can see the entire map. We can see here, 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 and bits of here. So this is really good pathing and a really good position. So what do we need to do now? Shoot squishy targets. Good shooting the Junkrat, and then we immediately start shooting the Orisa. Okay, and then we move, we give up high ground, we're standing near the edge. So again, this is like on first point where we went to the left, near where we could get booped off. Stop positioning like this. So I think there are a few problems that have come up here. I'm not going to keep the video any longer because it will give you too many things to work on. So here's your diagnosis. You don't seem to understand what a good position consists of with Cassidy. So To solve that, I would recommend watching pro players play Cassidy or watching good streamers play Cassidy and think about where they position. You seem to default to shooting Orisa instead of shooting squishy targets. Very simple fix, start shooting squishy targets until the tank has used their cooldowns. And finally, look to off angle more. So for example here, let's try and take this angle. On first point, let's also go to the right and take an off angle. So there's your diagnosis.
Get down, I had to switch up my lifestyle. If she bad, I'ma go and fuck her lights out. Mama always told